continue to go lower. So when we continue to go lower, we're just anticipating that other draws on liquidity might also get touched. Now, as you can see here, this for me looks like the main draw on liquidity. And why is that? Now, that's because you come to take this main draw on liquidity here. As you can see, the market got a good reaction from that. So now if we just put a line here, just put a line from this high time frame liquidity. Come and zoom in. As you can see, we've got this sell bar here. So we literally swept that main external liquidity to the downside, and we got a strong, very strong bullish reaction from that. Now, what's flipped my bias from bearish to bullish I would consider. Come zooming in now to the 4 hour time frame. We've come and took out this external liquidity to the downside here, so we've got our stop right here. But then what we've done is we took out this drop MI. Now that's considered to me break a structure to the downside, to the upside. So what that's done is we've continued into this trend, this downtrend, until we've eventually took out this external main draw on liquidity. Now from the 4 hour time frame, we then completely flipped bullish. So I'm just looking for any kind of high time frame PD rate confirmation that we will actually continue bullish. So just from this one leg, I'm completely bullish because we took out our main draw on liquidity. We then broke structure to the entire trend on the 4 hour time frame. Same again here from the confirmation. So taking out all these swing highs. And yeah, overall bias is flip bullish. Scaling down to the 1 hour now from that 4 hour break, which was right about down here. Same again with ES. We'll just correlate both of them pairs again. Yeah, so as you can see around on the this is around about the same chart. So on the 4 hour here, once again, flips completely bullish, just from the high time frame bearish leg, which was here. High time frame bearish leg, external liquidity tapped into, high time frame breaker structure to the upside. That's to me an indication that price is struggling on the selling development of that. So coming into the market, bullish perspective, just getting down to the 1 hour. Now I'm just looking for some kind of PD raise, so that'll be a flip level from the very high to the very top. And all I'm looking ideally for is price to tap maybe into this premium before continuing higher. Now in this case, it's really just not done that, where we've still been in this discounted area, and we was close to coming into that premium area. But what we consider is, what also do we have to the left of this? Now we have a 1 hour imbalance, scale up again to the 4 hour time frame. As you can see, this 4 hour imbalance perfectly got tapped back into right here. Then with this 4 hour imbalance tapping into, we got a strong rejection work to the upside. So that confirmed for me. So what we did ideally on this leg here, we tapped 50% CE of the 4 hour, and then got a strong rejection to the upside. Following that strong rejection again from the upside, we also got a change in state delivery here to the upside, continuing that bullish momentum, and also from the 1 hour time frame. Hold up. Also from the 1 hour time frame, completely just inverse this imbalance also, and it looks to be like when the market closed, we failed to take previous day high. Coming into ES, let's see if we've got any SMT. So we took out this internal liquidity to the upside on ES through this data candle wick, and then same again with Nasdaq. We haven't actually took this liquidity. So this for me would be a perfect draw on liquidity to target coming into Sunday open during Asia session. So we have this data right here, which has created the SMT, and that's why we see price. We've created this SMT. We've then respected this 15-minute rejection block, tapping into premium range of this premium. Tapping into this premium range of this rejection block on the 15-minute, sweeping out internal liquidity. On the Nasdaq, it's failed to sweep out that internal liquidity, and we've also failed to. Let me just confirm that from this rejection block here. Now we have actually also tapped into the premium range of this data high wick. So coming into the market now, I'm completely bullish from this perspective. I feel like previous day high and this S&T what's holding currently is going to be invalidated coming into session open due to this candle being a news candle. I think this was Donald Trump speaking. So this candle for me, this S&T for me is ideally invalid. Same with this rejection block, it's very invalid. But one thing you have to take into consideration is how this candle closed coming into Friday. Because as we can see, we took out the internal liquidity on ES, but then we've got a strong rejection to the downside, and now that's failing buyers. That's just failing buyers. Sellers are in control of this market. So as you can see here, market plummeted easily 100 points maybe, or just close to 100 points, but then we got a strong rejection down to the downside. Now that to me, a lot of people would be scared and try and maybe short this again from this rejection block entry, but I only see that as low time frame internal liquidity getting swept before continuing higher. So as we can see here now, coming onto ES, we failed to take out any of these internal liquidity to the downside. None of this internal liquidity has been took, and if you want to just scale this a little bit more deeper, these are 3 resting relatively equal lows to the downside. So I'm anticipating something like come and take out all this internal liquidity before continuing higher to the upside, targeting some kind of previous day high, and also targeting data high. So overall, as we can see on Nasdaq now, we've took out this internal liquidity to the downside. I would anticipate coming into Sunday open that the most we could push down to is ideally going to be taking this kind of liquidity here, this internal liquidity, and we can align that up with a PD array also, which is going to be this 15-minute imbalance just resting here. So coming into Sunday open, I'm just going to anticipate for bullish prices because we're heavily oversold. This internal liquidity to get swept, I'm going to look for some kind of confirmation, then for price to continue back up higher to previous day high. I'm also going to show you some stats from last month, which had a great trading month. I think I'm around a 15-day winning peak at the moment. My bad. With around $40,000 in profit. I managed to take out $20,000 in payouts this month, and that was through overall high time frame perspective. So if I just delete all that off my chart right now. So what I like to trade and how I like to trade is with the trend. So when I opt into the markets coming into the beginning of last month, which was March, I was ideally just looking at this leg. This leg ideally was when I started to gather my data and start trading. Now just from this leg, I was completely bearish. So what I was anticipating for lower prices was just flipping the high to the low. I was anticipating for price just to retrace back into some kind of premium zone, which it did here. Anything above that 0.5 considered premium. And then we just continued to sell off in that perfect bearish trend momentum, which I did manage to capitalise on every single day coming into session open. I was every single day without fail. I was shorting positions, scalping positions. There were so many entries within that month. You know, to even consider getting in short positions where you could potentially hold for multiple hours on end, and that's really how I capitalised on all my trades last month, just from basically high time frame trend narrative, and then scaling down to lower time frame to the 1 hour 15 minute, making sure the high time frame aligns with the lower time frame, and then once the lower time frame aligns with the high time frame, then we can get ready for trade. But at the moment, coming into session open Sunday, I'm anticipating for internal liquidity to get swept. We can overlap that sitting in some kind of PD array, which is going to be some kind of imbalance here, resting this internal liquidity before price continuing higher, taking out data high and previous day high, and then we should see some very, very nice trading conditions over the next month, because the only reason that this has been so bearish at the moment and been selling off dramatically, maybe 800 to 1,000 points on a weekly basis, which is very, I've been trading for around 3 years now, and this is very not normal in the markets to see these sudden spikes. It's a lot of people got trapped here as well. Longing. So what this was a very, very terrible mistake to long, because there was no vision in these longs. So what essentially these two candles was here was a news event candle. I think Trump spoke, and everyone got absolutely liquidated because they see this bearish trend, and then they see a pump, and they think it's just going to continue higher. But I never look at that from that perspective. I look at this from, we've retraced back into a premium, overlapped with a high time frame PD array before continuing lower, and I'm going to show you that great example now. So that's just from the very high to the very low. It's very simple trading, basic knowledge. This is all you need to become profitable. Very, very basic, simple knowledge. Look at high time frame narrative, look at premium versus discount, and manage your risk accordingly. So here's a great example here. Everyone got cooked long in this. I managed to capitalise on shorts. I managed to get in shorts position around here on a lower time frame. And what that was down to is news event happened, which punted the market up here. What do we consider this as up here? This is considered premium or better selling conditions. Overlapping that premium, where did this wick perfectly tap into? Here we have 1 hour imbalance, 1 hour order block perfectly tap back into. Strong rejection block to the downside, confirming that buyers was not in control at that time. And then as you can see, managed to continue to sell off before continuing lower. So just before you do any of your trading, guys, and you see these sudden moves and it changes your buyer's perspective on the whole day, just look at the bigger vision, look at the bigger picture, look at high time frame narrative, and think, right, we're good. Because as you can see with that data high, all that did is continue that perfect bearish trend. And now as you can see here, why I'm so bullish on this perspective is that we've took out this high. So we swept to the downside, we swept to the upside, we then come up, we've broke structure, so we've entirely broke structure of this 4 hour bearish trend, broke structure to the upside, retraced back into what? Some kind of PD array. Now for me, some kind of PD array, strong rejection to the upside, confirming that buyers are in control, completely inversing imbalances, high time frame imbalances. So coming into session open, we're going to retrace back into this imbalance, take out all this internal liquidity, sit also inside this bullish imbalance, and we're going to be taking out previous day high. Good luck, keep your risk managed, and we'll see you in the next one.